As if to emphasize that point, this shell exploded in a street not far from the hall, shortly after we had filmed the choir. There is hardly a building in the city which does not bear the scars of 16 months of bombardment. A bombardment that has killed or wounded hundreds of people. Yet in the midst of this devastation, the Bosnians are continuing to provide their children with basic education. Each local settlement has a war school. The children and their teacher live in the same or neighbouring apartment blocks, and the small classrooms are in the safest parts of the blocks, in the basement or on the ground floor with a minimum number of windows. The idea is that the children do not have to dodge snipers by travelling long distances to school.
The school is very important because the children were without any responsibilities for the last year. They were just listening to the shelling and listening to the news on the TV and radio. When the school started, the children's mood completely changed. They have very good friendships and they tell me, we feel great going to school. But it isn't important how much they learn, although they learn a lot. It's important children continue to have friendships and they keep up their spirits.
These 14-year-olds are studying maths. They come to school 6 days a week. Among them is Mirza Shirankaba, who lives with his parents and elder brother Yasmin in a neighbouring apartment block. Inside his apartment, Mirza reckons he does more homework now than ever before. There's not much else to do. Since the Serbs cut the power 2 months ago, he's lost his favourite pastime, watching videos or playing computer games. Mirza's father, who was a power engineer before the war, is cultivating a small vegetable patch to supplement the family's meagre aid ration. There has been no fresh aid here for 3 weeks.
The quantity of humanitarian aid isn't enough, so we have to spend our earnings from before the war to buy food on the black market, which is very expensive. 1 kilo of flour costs about 10 Deutschmarks.
Nobody has been untouched by the war. Yasmin was recently with his closest friend when a shell exploded beside them.
We were sitting in the front of the shop in the neighbourhood. The mortar fell and injured him in the leg. The shrapnel weighed about 1 kilogram. They say it was a miracle that they saved his life.
In spite of the increasing hardships, the family still does not want to see their government compromise with the Serbs.
I'm no politician, but I think that President Izetbegovic should keep to his principles and not divide Bosnia-Herzegovina. The country should remain united because of all the nationalities who live here.
Both boys are keen skiers. They have their own new equipment, and before the siege would take advantage of a long skiing season in the local mountains. Their favourite slopes were on Mount Igman, which is now the centre of the fiercest fighting in the area. The family presents a remarkable picture of dignity against the most appalling odds. Yet, like everybody in this city, life for them has become much harder since power and water were cut, and they are increasingly impatient at the failure of the UN to persuade the Serbs to reconnect it.